address is 1936 East First Street. That is the police station for Hollenbeck. I am a supervisor for the Hollenbeck Vice Squad at the moment. I've been an officer for the last 22 years. And today my comments are going to be strictly general comments involving the proposed ABC full line of alcohol they're requesting. It is our experience, or my professional opinion, that alcohol has never been a positive product in any community. In fact, right now in Hollenbeck, like Ms. Diaz just stated, there's 245 plus alcohol licenses in Hollenbeck. Roughly, that's 10 square miles of Boyle Heights, which is Hollenbeck Division. That is a lot. I believe we lead the city in alcohol licenses. Our common practice at Hollenbeck is to try to deny all ABC alcohol licenses that come into the Hollenbeck area. At this point, we're not doing that. I will do that formally through the ABC process when the business does apply for its license. At that point, I have the tool to do what they call a denial proposal for that ABC license, giving facts of crime in the area, things that affect the community. Just to give you a quick history of Hollenbeck, our biggest problem in Hollenbeck, in conjunction with the gang problem, is alcohol. Like I said, there's 245, and that includes restaurants, bars, mini markets, gas stations. We're inundated with ABC alcohol licenses. Most of the problems that I've seen is with full-line alcohol establishments. Reason being, you get normally a medium drink, depending on the contents, that could equal up to 3 beers in most cases. So beer, and I understand also he already has a beer and wine license, if I'm correct. So he already has that license to support his business. To get a full line, I agree with the community where it will impact the surrounding area. Mainly DUIs, and we can go on down the list as far as domestic violence, gang activity. The gang violence is very prominent, very involved in that area. I know they frequent that area inside because, like Ms. Diaz said, it is sort of like the jewel of Boyle Heights, you might say, the Plaza de Los Angeles, the Mercado de Los Angeles. So a lot of people remember that. Like yourself, sir, I grew up in Boyle Heights. I remember going there as a kid also. I recently visited that location, and of course, it doesn't look the same what I remember when I was a kid. It just looked bigger, and everything looked shinier and brighter and nicer. But that's the way it works. So, like I said, at this point, the only comment I can honestly say is that I do not believe that adding a full line of alcohol would help the community at large in that area. I can't speak for the crime in that area per se because since it's one building, it doesn't really affect all the crime stats that really probably go on in that establishment. A lot of crime goes unreported because I could say the nature of the community that attend there. Some don't report the crimes because they're either afraid of the police or they just figure it's not worth it. But I know that there's a lot of crime going on in that general area. And that's pretty much all I have to say. If you have any questions of me, I'll be glad to answer them. But
Commissioner Marquez, I appreciate what you said about the full liquor license. But in addition to that, request also is for live entertainment. That combination, I believe, as I recollect, in Boyle Heights over on, I believe it was on Olympic, there was a club there that years back that presented the community, and again, you had a different set of gangs over on that side of Boyle Heights that presented their problems. Your experience, if you could shed, in terms of the combination now of existing liquor licenses, which I've heard the applicant say will be reduced to 2 from 4, but one is now a far more expanded and more potent license, combined with adult live entertainment.
I was only going to speak about the alcohol, since you brought the entertainment portion of it. Yes, it goes hand in hand. Obviously, alcohol, entertainment, live entertainment, that's 2 ingredients that the Hispanic community like to go to and partake in. Most of the time, when you don't have an entertainment permit, you don't have an alcohol license because it's obviously it attracts each other, and you want that type of element in a good environment. I would think that's welcome. But in this case, because of the demographics, the economic situation in that community, I believe it would have a negative impact based on that. Like Ms. Diaz said, let's be realistic. Boyle Heights is not Beverly Hills. So a lot of people make minimum wage, and a lot of men probably go, you know, blow the whole check there to have a couple of drinks and whatever they need to do. So overall, it impacts a whole lot, not just the drug dealing or the gang members, but also at home. So I'm a big advocate of not having additional licenses in a neighborhood, because I know what it's done to neighborhoods. Like I said, I've been on the job for 22 years, and I've been all over the city working different divisions. Not once have I known that alcohol is a good product for any community. I know they have an off-sale market that allows them to leave the premises with the alcohol. We have less problems, I could say honestly, with on-site. However, it has different problems. The DUIs, the minors drinking, the adults taking minors there and maybe passing the beer around to them. A lot of issues, I can honestly say.
Thank you.
Commissioner Marquez speaking. Officer Marquez, you mentioned 246 liquor licenses, and I suspect that's a combination of on-site and off-site licenses in the Boyle Heights community. And there's restaurants, and that includes restaurants, sports bars, liquor stores, tiendas, and such. Looking at a restaurant I'm not even talking about full line, but just beer. What makes in your estimation makes a restaurant successful in terms of public safety and preventing alcohol-related problems, or keeping the nuisances down that are related to the consumption of alcohol down? What are the tactics or strategies, or in terms of management, what is done that works?
Just to answer, yes, it's a combine of all facets of the AV system. But to answer your question, management, ownership, taking responsibility, and even then, I have a restaurant right now I'm not going to name. It's a restaurant bar. Owners, she's there every day, and yet they have 18 DUIs year to date. They're under abatement at this moment, yet they cannot control that, because even though she's there every day and she tries to control it, it's hard. It's hard. So I would have to say, you really, if you're going to have a restaurant bar, you really have to cater more to the restaurant part, the food, as opposed to the liquor. And just be vigilant and really do a good job of educating your waiters, your waitresses. There's a STAR training program we put them through that educates them. So I really have to say it comes down to management and ownership of the business. It's what are they really trying to achieve here?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I am Tara Devine. I am the Director of Planning and Economic Development for Councilmember Jose Huizar in the 14th District. Good evening, Commissioners. Like many businesses abutting a dense residential neighborhood, it faces opposition from some in the residential areas. With all due respect to LAPD, who testified before you today, a unilateral position opposing alcohol is not reasonable, nor is it in the public's best interest. While it is true that Boyle Heights has significant problems with liquor consumption and sales, the license is usually not the crux of the issue. The one who holds the license is often the issue. Our offices worked closely with the applicant to review and revise the conditions for El Mercado. We believe that the applicant is operating in good faith to mitigate neighborhood impacts, but that many of the conditions, as they are proposed in the decision before you today, are not appropriate and do not have any direct correlation to those impacts. We do believe that the conditions regarding security are onerous to the applicant. Over time, during the past discretionary reviews, the city has added additional security in response to residential concerns. We support the applicant's request for some reduced security.
Commissioner Lowe speaking. Ms. Devine, have you had a chance to look at the MND?
I do not have it with me today.
Did you notice that they failed to check the box on housing and population impact? The demolition of 4 units, 4 single-family dwelling units within Boyle Heights, an overbuilt community, an old overbuilt community. 4 units, but cumulative impact with the gold line construction and the demolition of residences and small businesses, in addition to our current housing crisis and our current foreclosure crisis. Did you?
I was not familiar with the MND as you specifically asked. It is my understanding that those houses were actually owned by the applicant and were used to house employees actually who worked on the site. So,
That would still require displacement of those employees.
and I would like to defer to the applicant to answer that question.
More questions?
Not at the council office at this time.
Thank you.